So, given what happens in this movie, I'm curious, what is your technology vice? If Chucky got a hold of something you use every day in your life, what would he be able to get you with?
Like our phones, of course. Like our phone. Like that's the thing that terrifies me is like, cause I'm so like conspiracy theorist when it comes to like technology. Like I always wait to upgrade. Like I don't ever want to like, I always try to hold off to the last minute. And it inevitably kind of gets you in a chokehold and you got to do it. Like I still need to upgrade my phone. I still have the thumbprint because I was like, I don't want my face everywhere. I don't want that. But like, yeah, like there's always a software update. Like there's like no matter what, like, and your phone will just do it while you're asleep. Like it's like I don't like it.
I think about it all the time, but I'm a huge sucker when the new thing comes out. So of course I have the face recognition. I have the watch. It's connected to everything I own.
Absolutely, because like that's just like that's what's so funny. Like you know, like you don't have to be a child to have toys. Like now we're adults and all our technology is our toys.
Like, it's like all the toys are the same. It's like my toy is the phone and my teeny tiny little cousins are sitting there all day long like
tablets all the time, like just unaware of what's going on about like that's just the way of the world now.
All right, spinning that question a little, what is the weirdest piece of tech that you use all the time that Chucky could use to kill someone?
I just got a war.
Oh no.
I got this like toothbrush water pick combo that like it's so dumb. But like I was like, what are you gonna do? Floss me to death? Like what? But like you could.
I have a terrible fear of the dentist. I'm not scared of very many things in horror movies anymore, but the dentist is still the thing that terrifies me to the core. So that would be my worst nightmare.
Yeah, like that's why it's like if Chucky got a hold of like could you my oral hygiene? Like that's just like that's awful.
It truly is my worst nightmare. The weirdest thing I could think of was my cat has a litter robot, and I feel like there's something like really freaky and weird that could happen with that.
Like even like iRobot vacuum cleaners, like I will not do that. I was like, I don't like that it knows where the corners are. I don't like that it's just like, no, I'm not doing that.
So I was reading in the press notes that you are the horror guy, and I have a horror obsession, and me plus my Witching Hour co-host at Collider, we are the horror ladies. So I have to ask you, where did it start? What was the gateway horror movie that made you a fan?
Do you want to know the very first movie I ever saw in my life? Like, I think I was 4 years old, and my sisters took me to this movie called Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives, which to this day is still one of my favorites. Like I can watch that movie all day long. But I was like literally 4 watching Jason turn a woman's head all the way around 360 and like I didn't cry, I wasn't sad. I was like, this is actually really cool. Like, so I just was so obsessed with them because I feel like horror movies have to do a couple of things. Like you have to have impeccable acting, you have to have a really good story, you know what I mean? It could be gory or not, but like you really want to like, there should be somebody in the story you care about. Mm-hmm. But there should always be the impending, like knowing around the corner that anybody could go in any moment. And what I really loved about, horror movies of the 80s, especially the 80s, like that whole slasher thing coming in, it was so much fun. Like you literally have to have commentary throughout the whole movie because it's just like, can you believe that just happened? Like, can you? And I don't know. Like, I always thought that like the real world was scarier than what we were watching. You know what I mean? Like that's why I kind of liked horror movies because I felt like they were commentary on the world we live in, like on society.
I think about it the same way.
All the time, you know, like the final girl. You know, if you smoke weed or you have sex, you gotta die. And I'm like, okay, and also like what you're also showing us is like men are crazy. Like it's always the women like you having to overcome like this person that just like walks really slowly and is like already like it just I thought it was great.
The movie's trained me well. I'm convinced that should any of these scenarios actually happen, I would be the one to survive.
Yeah, you think so?
I got a lot of faith in myself.
But that's why I also took Child's Play because it was like, you know, in horror movies, black people we don't make it that long, and nor do we have like any kind of character development. So like when I saw this, I was like, yep, I'm in. And I was like,
speaking of character development, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when the three of you are having dinner together. Just the chemistry in that particular moment is through the roof. Do you guys get to play around and improvise
I mean,
a little
Lars
there?
is really cool. Like he'll just set the camera up and like let you go. And I remember doing that scene with Gabriel and Carlise, like and you know, like because like the parallels between Andy and Mike are very much the same. These men who like are from single mom homes and like don't really have a lot of friends. And I feel like that scene was literally you getting a chance to watch Andy and Mike really like come together while there is this present on the table that like there's a like it's just, you know.
The present was killing
But yeah,
me.
like that's a big testament to Lars. He really gave us like, you know, like license to just play and create these relationships, because at the end of the day, this movie is really about friendship. Like, honestly, it really does come down to friendship.
So given the fact that we are definitely going to have more iconic slasher franchises rebooted in the future,
Sure.
from your experience working on this, if you could tell a filmmaker who's about to do that any single piece of advice that would help them reboot a franchise the right way, what would it be?
Make sure that the relationships are genuine. Like, honestly, like really make sure that you actually care about the people that you're about to kill. Yeah, and then you got a great horror movie.
It actually is that simple, though.
There you go.
And with everything you have coming up, especially because after I first saw you in Atlanta, it seems like ever since then, you're not even just adding one great film after the next to your resume, you're joining all of these iconic franchises. Does it ever hit a point anymore where you're standing there on set or you sign on for something new and you're like, wow, I can't believe I'm a part of this?
I hope I feel that all the time. Like that's literally like why I do what I do. I'm the biggest nerd you have ever met in your life. Like, I used to have Child's Play comic books, like stickers, like all that stuff. And I think that that's what's so great about this journey is like I'm constantly always like a nerd of what I do, and that's why I love doing it. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for those other nerds out there too who are just like, yeah, man, like it's just always going to be fun, and I want it to always be that way.
You feel it. You told me that at the Spider-Verse junket about this movie.
I mean, come on.
I haven't stopped thinking about it, and I finally saw it, and I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it. So, like, if you give me a script that says Child's Play, I'm going to do it.
Do you have any movie props or memorabilia at home, especially from the scarier stuff like this?
You know what's really funny? I didn't take anything from set, but a lot of my friends know how much I care about Child's Play. So I had friends crochet me things with Chucky, you know what I mean? Like, get magnets, I've got pins, I like to collect pins, so I have like the good guy doll pins, like, but like it's stuff like that because like my friends know how much I care about like this stuff and how much of a nerd I am. So I have a lot of Chucky-esque stuff, yeah.